So, Liz, I want you to kind of share a little bit about your story with It Works and how you got introduced to this business and kind of where it's taken you here over the last, how long have we been?
Oh gosh.
That's not me. Not sure who's on screen mode.
If you're sharing your screen, go ahead and stop. I don't know who this is. I don't know the name. There we go.
There we go. Okay, I was like, I think my boys touched something on my computer that I don't know about. Oh, goodness. Okay, so can you just share a little bit about how you got introduced to this business, how you ran like crazy, and kind of what your profession was before It Works?
Yeah, sure can. So I was telling Erica before the call that we had baseball tonight, and so I feel like a baseball field, like, dirt everywhere, and I feel like lipstick just covers everything up. So I just applied some lipstick and hopped on the Zoom, and I feel like my world is all right again, right? So anyways, thanks for having me, you guys. I'm super excited to be here with you and to share. There's a lot of, there's some familiar faces, but then a lot of unfamiliar faces. And so that's the fun thing about this business, is that we are always meeting new people. So thanks for having me. Yes, I was a teacher prior to It Works. And even before that, I was a children's ministry director for our church. When I had my youngest, I have two boys. When I had my youngest, I took a year leave of absence from teaching just so I could stay home for that 1 year while he was little. And I worked at the church part-time, full-time, just to supplement some extra income while I wasn't teaching that 1 year. When I was a children's ministry director, this family kept walking in every Sunday morning, and I recognized them because they had 4 kids, and they were all spread out through my children's ministry. And the mom was super bubbly and happy, and that mom was Lori Conway. And so I became Facebook friends with her, and this is just what I did. Like every mom that came through the church, I got to know, and I became Facebook friends. Like that was the power of social media. Well, as I would rock my little one to sleep at night, I would watch Facebook, and I kept seeing her post about It Works. I had no idea what it was. I had never sold anything before in my life. Selling was not even on my radar. It was the wraps. It was like the before and after pictures that I would continue to see over and over. I thought maybe they would work for me. Maybe. Like I wasn't convinced, but maybe, right? If you were like that, like where you wanted this wrap to work so bad, but you just weren't sure that there was a product out there that really tightened, toned, and firmed your skin. So I messaged her, knew her just from church, and I said, okay, it was like 11 o'clock at one night because I was kind of crossing my fingers that maybe she wouldn't open the message until morning because I was kind of nervous. But she messaged me right back, and she was like, you are going to love these wraps. Can you come over to my house tomorrow and you can wrap for $25? So I was so nervous. I was nervous to lift up my shirt in front of someone, a mom from church that I barely knew. But I was also nervous that I'm spending $25, and money was tight for us, like super tight for us. And I was going to have to go back to teaching the following year. And so I was nervous to tell my husband that I was going to spend $25 on this piece of linen cloth that was going to do magic on my belly. Okay. So crazy enough as it is, the wrap worked. I loved it. I loved my results from my one. And that alone was eye-opening to me. Like I thought, I know of people that will want this. If it works for me, it's going to work for other bellies. Like I had nothing magical going on down here, but I knew that if it worked for me, it was going to work for other people. So, Lori said the one thing that I continue to use throughout my business is, do you want a box of 4 to continue your treatment for $59, or for $40 more, you can be a distributor and see if you can make some extra income with this. And I thought, gosh, we could totally use the extra income. But $99 was crazy tight. Like that was a lot of money. I didn't have a supportive husband, but I didn't have a non-supportive husband. He was just kind of like, oh, $99. And yeah, I can see that it worked, but that's a lot of money, Liz. Like, do you really have the extra time? We had 2 little babies, 2 boys. I was teaching, going back to teaching full time. Do you really have the extra time to be able to do this? I'm like, I don't know, like I am busy, you're right. So I was kind of letting some of these excuses get in my way. Same thing that we do when we talk to potential distributors. They are full of excuses because that's what we do. That's what we do with everything. That's what we do with diet. That's what we do with exercise. That's what we do with any new opportunity or new position that we take in the job. We have an excuse of why it may not work. But for me, I was like, okay, it's only $40 more and I do want another box of wraps. So if I can't sell them, I'm going to use them. At least I'm getting something out of this, right? So, I kind of felt like I signed up and I had to make the decision right then and there in my own head, whether I was going to be shy and hold this back or if I was going to be outgoing and run with it. It had to be one or the other because, it's like coming out of the gate that you feel like you're either going all in and you might look like you're going to make a fool out of yourself at first, but in order to get people to understand your passion and excitement, it's almost like you have to go all in. You have to make those bold posts and those say crazy things and post crazy things and tell people that you want to wrap them in their house or wrap them in your house, or you have to just be uncomfortable with the uncomfortableness of this business at sometimes, And so, I went to school. I went back to school and I was telling all of my teacher friends, and I'm like, come to my room after school. You're going to want to try this. I made it very informal. My wrap parties were very informal wrap parties. But I was having them, just not calling them necessarily parties. I was just gathering people in bulk and wrapping them all and just walking them through the party pad. I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing yet, so I'm just going to talk through this. And that's how I would use the party pad. I didn't want to act like I was an expert. I really had no idea what I was doing. But the tools that this company gives us allow us to use them to be that expert, to walk through it page by page. And it's okay if we say, no clue really what I'm doing, but they do. We know these products work. And then if you can walk through a party pad, it makes it look so simple that anybody can do this business. And so by wrapping people and literally signing up everyone that said yes, as a loyal customer, as a distributor, I knew what I needed. I always had a number. I still do this with our 2.0 spots. I always have a number in mind. Like for my next promotion right now, I know I need 8 distributors. And so we make it like a game with my kids and my family, like mama's getting 8, mama's getting 8. Like it's a big deal. And so I always knew that next goal. I always knew how many customers I needed. I always knew how many distributors I needed. And I just filled out those charts in the evenings, and I just continued messaging. I think one of my biggest aha moments, while I was promoting, while I was teaching full-time, and I don't know if you guys know this, but I taught full-time all the way to ambassador. Like, so when people are like, oh gosh, I work full-time and I'm a mom, and I get it. I totally get it. That was me and my husband working full-time all the way till ambassador. I didn't quit until it was like literally the last day of May. I left my job and promoted to ambassador. And so I feel like my biggest aha moment was, what you see on Facebook and you see on Instagram, what different It Works leaders are doing, they're doing so much more behind the scenes. And so I would see people post and I would post, but then my business wasn't moving as fast as I wanted it to move. And so it's behind the scenes work that got me to ambassador in 16 months. And it was like the little instant messages, the private messages, the one-on-one conversations. It was the wrapping people in bulk after school or after work or on the weekends. And it was the things that you didn't see probably on my social media that made it grow so quickly. And so I think so many times, and I tell my team this all the time, we compare ourselves to other people and their social media reel. You think I'm posting, they're posting, I'm maybe even posting more than they're posting, but why are they growing faster? And I think that's exactly it. It's the behind the scenes effort and conversations that we're having, whether it is, on Facebook or Instagram, it's the private messages. And I would have my list, I'll show here, of people, and I would work through that every single night. I'd add to it. I would, message. And I'm talking like 10 to 20 people a night. Sometimes it was a copy and paste. It was like, hey, I'm just, scrolling through Facebook and I saw your post, and have you thought about selling It Works at all? Have you thought about giving it a try? I mean, I was bold, and I still continue to do that through my Facebook, through my Instagram. sending private messages all the time to get people to tell me no, because telling someone no makes them uncomfortable, but it leads to a conversation. It leads to them asking questions. And so I feel like for me, my work time was after my kids went to bed. My work time was after my lesson plans were done for the following day. And so it was like that 9:30 time until whenever I couldn't keep my eyes open. Like I was working some nights till 11, some nights till midnight. It just depended on the night and how many people I had to message. So that is what got me there so quickly. That is what got me those bonuses along the way. That's what got my husband to promote as fast, because, when he caught the vision, it was like, we both were messaging. So we were doubling our efforts. So if you can get a spouse on board, or a significant other on board, or a sister on board, you guys, when my sister came into this business, we were like powerhouses because we were working so hard together and having so much fun doing it at the same time. So if you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong, right? Like, find those people that you can connect with, find those people that you want to work with, because that makes this so much fun. It makes it not a job. It makes it a passion. It makes it exciting. So that's my story in a nutshell, in a really fast nutshell.
I was telling someone on our team pages, I'm like, I can't wait for your call tonight. And I'm like, and I love Liz's energy. Like it is literally like so contagious. I'm like, I'm ready to make messages. I'm ready to go out to work. My phone died on me. I'm like, I can't even message during the Zoom. This is crazy. But I love
you're a crazy good rap girl if your phone is dying by the end of the day, right?
Exactly. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I love what you said too about kind of behind the scenes stuff, because I think it's so true. People think that just making a post is working, and we know that it's not that. Any leader who is at the top of this company can tell you it wasn't just some magical wording on Facebook or Instagram that signed 30 odd loyals in a month or whatever like that. Tell us, what are some things that are kind of your IPAs? What are some of those things that you do on a daily basis that are kind of growing your business?
Yeah. So, when I was talking about messaging my list, people don't always say yes on that first message. It is a constant follow-up. I feel like people that I'm signing up this month are people that I have either friend requested or started messaging months ago. And so the work that we're putting in right now, the work that I put in today, I will see later on down the road. They're not always instant. You'll have a very few that are like, okay, let's do it. Like, sign me up, I'm ready. But that is few and far between. And so what I've noticed is that it is, seriously, we probably heard this over and over, but the fortune is in the follow-up. And it is those messages that are constant over and over and over again. And so what I have made a practice or made a routine is for me every single day to work through this list, to add to my list and to work through my list and do these private messages. And, since I've been doing this business a little over 5 years now, since I've done this every single day, it is like nothing to me. Just to pull it out, when I sit down to work, that's what I know to do. Pull out my charts, pull out my list, pull out my steps to success sheet. That is routine for me. But I think what happens is that when we don't set a routine and we don't get consistent with one thing every single day, then those days that we're tired, those days that we have a headache, those days that we're busy with kids or stressed out or have baseball, then if it's not consistent, then those things are like shoved under the rug. So you have to find your thing every day. Like, for me, it is my list. It is adding new people on Instagram or on Facebook, getting connected on the team pages, and then if there's like a Sunday or Monday night call or a team call. Those are my every single day, no matter what, no matter if I'm tired, no matter if I'm sick, no matter if, I've got a busy day that day. I know I need to carve out a chunk of time to do my work. And all it really takes, you guys, for me, is 30 minutes to an hour every single day. And I think we get overwhelmed so many times by thinking like, oh my gosh, I have to sit down and work for 2 hours tonight. No, I personally don't have 2 hours at night to work anymore with kids and ball and all the things going on, right? And what I noticed too, I really thought like, okay, once I get home from my job, my business is going to explode because I have all day to work. Not true. The people that work this business, the people that need this business are probably working during the day. So most conversations and my biggest efforts when I sit down to work is at nighttime, because people are home from their jobs, they put their kids to bed, done with dinner, they're done with cleanup, and they get on Facebook. How many of you look at Facebook before you go to bed? Like all of us, right? That some form of social media. That is when it is the best time of the day to work. So if you work full time, it's not an excuse for you, right? Because other people that work full time are on social media at night. And so that was kind of like an eye-opening, wow, like I have all day to get all my other stuff done, whether it's running kids or, you know, whatever it may be, laundry. I try to do all that other stuff during the day because I still work my It Works business at night, because that is when I see the most gains from enrollments, from loyal customers, from distributors, talking with team, because they're working. A lot of them are working during the day. Now, there's a fair share of stay-at-home moms, and then they're at home, but they're busy as well. They're also on social media at night. So you're like covering all of these people at nighttime, every single one of them, the working ones and then the stay-at-home mom ones. And so for me, my income producing activities are being consistent with those few things, but every single night. And I know that I have to get those things done for my business to continue to grow, because the work that I do now, like I said, is going to flourish here later on.
Oh, I love that. You're so right. I never thought about that. Those busy moms at home, you know, they don't have time either until it's nighttime. That is always where I feel like I get the best responses and all of that. So I love that. I love that saying even 30 minutes, it's all that it takes. Yes. So great. Okay, so question for you. So, you know, we all get into this business right for ourselves and whatever our whys are. And then as we start to grow a team, we start kind of focusing on other people's whys and wanting, you know, things for them. But then we have those ones who just up and leave, or they up and quit. And sometimes we'll see like, man, that'll be a blow to the gut, and someone can't quite get over that person kind of walking away. I'm sure in 5 years you've had some who have came into your business and left in your business. You know, what has been something that maybe kind of pushed you to kind of keep going, or how have you handled when that person kind of, you know, stepped away from their business and you continue to keep going with your own?
Yeah, you know, it's good. And I think that every person within this business will go through a loss of a distributor. Like they'll either quit or they are not what you expected. Like, have you ever signed a distributor like, this is going to be a rock star, and they like don't do anything, you know, and that feels like a loss just as much as them not doing anything. And so I think so many times that I do get discouraged, but I have taught myself to not get hung up on it. I have to focus on the positive. And this is like with anything in life. I have to think about, okay, go back, Liz, to who is working. Go back to my eSuite to see my down in reports and downline activity. And I just start sending out positive messages to these people. Like, oh my gosh, girl, I saw you enrolled a loyal customer today. So awesome. What did they order? Can't wait to hear about it. Or like, you enrolled 2 distributors this month already. I'm so proud of you. Go back to complimenting those people that are working. It makes my heart feel so good to be able to give those compliments, to put people up on a pedestal for a little bit, and for me to be like, there are people excited in this business. There are people on my team that are working day in and day out. Why am I allowing myself to focus on those that are quitting versus giving compliments to these that are working? And so, you know, I'm not saying I don't struggle with it. I do. I take it personally, and I think that is something that's hard for everybody, because when they quit, especially if it's a friend or somebody that you've gotten to know well, and they decide that they're done with it, it is hard. But I have to remember, this is a business. This is their income for a family. And then I reverse it to go back to the positives. That always makes me feel better. And I think too, like, knowing where you're focusing on, what leg are you building? Are you building a Ruby like right here? Are you building an executive right here? And if somebody's quitting over here, like, don't worry about that. You're building here. This is what your goal is. This is what your job is. So like when I told you I was cheering for those 8, 8, 8, 8, yeah, I might have people quitting in these legs, but this is strong. I am building this strong because that is where my focus is. That's where my attention is. And so I think that has helped me. And then I think about this too. I have a distributor that on my team that was built for Diamond, and she almost had everybody on her Diamond team quit. I'm not even kidding. Like almost every single one. So she was struggling, just like, what is wrong with me mode? You know, what is something that she thought it was in her? Like, no, it's not you. Just keep going. And we kept giving positive talks. And then her husband reached out. She's like, she's really discouraged. I'm like, I get it. I know. Just keep going. Well, that distributor within the next 2 weeks ended up signing Mackenzie Schultz. Mackenzie Schultz went double diamond in 30 days. And so she had just all of a sudden this double diamond underneath her and had to build a ruby. And then now she's Ambassador Diamond. Okay. So it's like you hear these stories of like where people are discouraged and people are quitting, but you literally can turn the next day if you keep working and sign somebody that can go double in 30 days. Like people still do that. People can still do that. I know it sounds crazy. I didn't go double in 30 days, but there's people out there that do. And that I know even if I have someone go executive in 30 days or ruby in 45 or whatever it is, I am so happy because that person working gave me excitement again. And so it is in those moments that, you know, you have people quitting, that as long as you're not giving up with your daily task of income producing activities, as long as you continue every single day to do those things, you're going to find that person that gives you that excitement or gives you that team again, that sense of team again. And so I know we have all these different rates probably on this Zoom, but it takes literally two people to change your business and for you to really go diamond. You have to have a few other distributors in there, but two people that like get it, like we get it, and then run with it, that just do it, you know, and you can tell who those people are. They're posting, they're excited, they're asking the right questions. Like it's finding those people, and it can literally change your business in a matter of 30 days. So that story always keeps me going and keeps me like consistent when people are quitting or people aren't doing anything. I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to sign an extra rock star. The next day I'm going to sign that rock star, and I'm going to keep going and going and going until I do.
Oh, I love that. That is so true. I love the reminder of two people. It really is just two people that, you know, you need in your business that want it. And you know, just being on these calls, you're like, that girl wants it. We can clearly see 55 people who want it bad enough. And
that's awesome, you guys. That is so awesome.
Yeah. So I love this. Oh my goodness. So good. Okay. So let's see here. We've got about 7 minutes or so. So I want to kind of round out this. What are some tips that whether you would give to a brand new distributor? We'll start with that. What's one tip that you would give to someone who's on here? What's something that you would kind of give them to kind of help launch their business?
Okay. I would say probably first tip is I know we hear this a lot, but just you literally have to have a mindset that you're going to run with it, that you're going to do it. You're going to ask people, you're going to talk about it every single day. Because if it just doesn't naturally come up in conversation, if somebody asks you, what do you do? And your answer is, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Or what do you do? I'm a teacher. Like if it's not, I'm a teacher and I sell It Works. Like you need to add that to your tagline. You need to add that to your conversations or figure out a way that you can, whether that's wearing an It Works shirt or saying, oh, and I also own my own business, or I just started this new adventure. Finding a way to add it in a conversation every single day. So I think building up that excitement, whether you're talking to people one-on-one or if it's on your social media, like how can you build up excitement? Like, I'm starting this new thing and I'm so excited. I give my new distributors a post, what I want them to post on day 1 that they join. And I give them a post, what I want them to post on day 2. And on their day 2 post, it has their goals. Why are they doing this? What do they want to achieve? Do they want to pay off debt? Do they want to be able to stay at home? Do they want to, because when people read that, they connect with that. And so like, that is going out of the gate every single time. I'm giving them those first 2 days of exactly what to post, and they have to come up with their own whys. Second thing, like I know we talk about this all the time as leaders, but calls seriously have helped me remain in the game. And so for new distributors, when they're not used to working their steps to success or working their hundreds list, and they're not used to these daily income producing activities that we have now created for ourselves, we have to help them get in the habit of these. But the calls remind us to do so. So the Sunday night calls remind you to pick up your steps to success sheet. The Monday night calls inspire us because we're hearing leaders that are succeeding in this business to go to work, to message more people. You're going to hear tips on every single Sunday and Monday night call. And so some nights you might feel like, oh, it's tedious, or, it's about the same thing, or it's just a recap of the week. No, you're going to hear something every single call that you get on. And I know that has been super important for me to keep my head in the game for the week. It sets my week up. It keeps me going. And so for a new distributor, that is one thing that they can add to be consistent every single week. And so it's getting on those calls. And it takes some, as a sponsor, it takes some effort on our part in the beginning to add this to their daily habits or their habits. So I am texting them, I'm Facebook messaging them, I'm sending them stupid Snapchats, hey girl, being silly because they laugh and say something silly back, oh yeah, that rat girl again, she probably wants me to work today. But just trying to create that relationship if I don't already have one with them, but also being there for them when they do have questions. They're going to come to me a little bit easier if we do have this connection going. But also I'm sending them messages hey, a reminder for the Sunday night call, here's the link, and one-on-one, I'm posting it on the team page. But for a while, those new distributors, I'm trying to do as many one-on-one conversations. They're my best friend. They are my girl of the week. They're going to get my text messages. They're going to get my Snapchats. They are going to get anything silly I have to say or I run into, or something crazy my kids did. That's my person that I'm gonna share it with, other than my husband, clearly. But I'm trying to get them into a routine, and I'm sending them reminders, but not just reminders, because then they're gonna be oh, that's boring. Another reminder from her again. But it is reminders, but funny. It's relationship building, but also, hey, get your head in the game. Let's do this together.
Oh, I love that. I love how you make it personal. That's such a great idea. It's not just, hey, here, I'm going to tag you in 18 things on the team page.
They hate that. They'll give up and quit.
They're I thought I wasn't getting a boss, and now I have a boss. So I love that you keep it very personal. That's so, so important. I love that. Okay, so one of the last things so we talked about a suggestion for a new distributor. What about for that Ruby that is going diamond? I feel a lot of people, we had a couple last month who went Ruby to diamond, and there's a few more who are now going for the fast bonus, and they are, going after that $5,000 or maybe even still within that $10,000 bonus rank. What suggestion would you give to that emerging leader who's going after a bonus?
Oh, it's so exciting. I love it. I think the excitement is there. If you are growing and you're building your team and you're at that level, you can't be Ruby and not halfway excited, right? You can't be making $500-ish a month and not be excited. I mean, I would be excited. So I think that excitement piece is there, I hope. And then it is the balance. Once you have team, it's the balance of working with your team versus recruiting, and how much time do you spend on both. That was hard for me in the beginning, because I'm oh my gosh, I have this team and I got to remember they do this and they got to remember to do this. But literally I would say 80-20, 80% of the time I spend on recruitment, because that's the new life of my business. 20% is helping the team that's there, giving them those reminders and creating those relationships, and helping them with charts and team page posts and stuff like that. So I think that the focus is still on recruitment. So if you're going Ruby to Diamond, your focus is on recruitment, and those boxes that you have left on your chart to fill, 100% take responsibility for every single one of those. As crazy as that sounds, but if you get in your head that you need 8 distributors, and let's say Chelsea over here gets one, you're dang, I only need 7. Holy cow. But you're responsible. You're going to make the most money. You're the top of the chart. You're responsible for that entire piece. So if you're Ruby and you're wanting to go diamond, that's going to be your promotion. That's going to be you making the most money, or the bonus. So you have to look at the chart as all of yours, whether people help you within there, get there by recruiting loyal customers or distributors, or you do it yourself. But I think that was like the biggest light bulb switch, maybe, that I just took responsibility of the entire thing. Like, I'm going to do this. And that's awesome. Like, they're going to do it too. I want you, Ruby. You need this. You need this many more distributors. I'm going to help you get to Ruby by the end of this month, and call it out. I called it out for them. Like, hey, I need you Emerald by, let's say, April 25th. Like, we're going to do this together, but like, this is your goal. This is my goal. Let's do this. Let me know who you're talking to. Let me know who you're recruiting. And it's kind of working hand in hand that way. And so really, yeah, like 80% of time I feel like I'm spending on recruiting still to get that promotion done, but still balancing that other 20%, those relationships and working with your team that you already have. So do it. That's exciting, you guys. Ruby to Diamond is huge. That's a huge pay increase. That's a huge bonus to get. Don't miss it. Just make it happen. I know it sounds crazy, but you can. You can totally make it happen.
Oh, I love it. And I love that you said too about like, kind of being in contact with your downline and saying, hey, okay, you're my Emerald or you're my Ruby. And that's what makes it a team. Now, not telling them like the way you did it, that's so perfect. Like, it's a team thing,
You're doing it, but
yeah,
we're on a time crunch. Like,
right. We're having any excuses. We are doing this together and we're all promoting together. I love that. Oh my gosh, this was amazing. So amazing tonight. Oh my gosh, you filled me up. I am pumped. I'm not going to bed anytime soon. I'm going to work and message, and
we'll be up together.
Perfect. Oh, I love it. Well, I want to thank you. Any last tip before you go? Anything? I mean, you kind of gave us a whole bunch, but anything lastly that you're kind of feeling for 2017, or any tip that you kind of have to kind of round out the night?
Well, I definitely, those of you that are on here are getting yourself plugged in and connected, and this is what's going to fill you up. Having a team with support and the leadership like you guys have is amazing. People love to have that. People love to have that support in these Zooms and these calls. And so you guys are on here. You're on here for a reason, and I feel like God called you to be in this business with these people for a purpose. And so continue to keep yourself connected. Stay close to your sponsor or your upline, because that is really going to pull you up in promotions, pull you up in spirit, up in happiness, and all of that. So stay close to those people that are making you feel good in this business, whether that is your sponsor, a diamond upline, or an ambassador diamond upline. Getting connected has seriously been the best thing for me, and that's how I've built the relationships that I've built on my team. And even with sidelines, just keeping connected, sideline relationships, and all of that just helps all of us come together as a one team, one mission, and working together like unitely through the company. So yeah, continuing, that would be my one tip is getting yourself connected and your friendships and relationships with people that have the same goals as you, people that are going to promote to Diamond. Team up and say, where are you at? Let's do this together.
Oh, I love it. I love it. One of my favorite things of this whole business is the relationships and the sideline sisterhood like we have, and so many others. And I love to watch that kind of grow. So thank you so very much for being on here tonight. You look amazing for coming from a ball field. So love you.
Lipstick, and I'm like, away we go. Dirty hair.
I love it. Well, thank you. We all thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. And you go and enjoy the rest of your time with your family. And I know it's probably your work time right about now too. So thank you so very much.
All right. Good night.